Hey folks, welcome back. I'm the Mysterious JG. It's been a long time for me since I played. Not so long for you, or since you've watched, I hope. We'll see how long it takes me to get these all posted. But I have a game at the Topps Presidential Suite, and don't pay attention to that auto, because I did a little playing off camera. And found out some things that I guess it's just as well I found out. Because while it might have been good to get my initial reactions, I'm going to try to do a few things a little different before I go in and book myself for a conversation with Benny. So let's go into the main floor. These are all things I could, I went in and I talked to Benny, and it's not like I broke the game. But there's some things I should have done first, because it would make the conversation with Benny a little more meaningful. For example, I spoke to Mr. House, as our good friend Robot Bombo Vitor Mira told us to go talk to Mr. House, and I did that after talking to Benny, and Mr. House was like angry at me. Although I don't think it would make a difference how things went out talking to Mr. House first. He was like, you screwed up because you didn't talk to me first. I also want to talk to one of these guys first, because I think that's actually kind of important. Although they're just staring off into space like freaks. Swank.
Hey there, pal. Welcome to the Topps. And what can I do for you today?
I think you should know something about Benny.
Really? You got something to say about the big boss, huh? Well, why don't you say it to his face instead of yapping at me?
I don't think speech check 15. I passed that rather easily, and as you can see, just about anybody, if you'd put any points into speech at all, or if charisma was not your dump stat, you would already be able to handle this speech check. So unless you can't handle any speech checks in the game, and certainly there are builds that do not handle speech checks. I mean, even if you had a speech check at 0, if you have the perk that doubles the effect of magazines, you can pass this by having a magazine, even with a speech check at, like, 1. Speech skill of 1. Or if you have a speech skill above 5, a magazine will do it. This is not a speech check that you're meant to lose easily. I don't think you're going to like it. Seems Benny's been making his own play.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Benny tried to kill me and stole a platinum chip I was hired to deliver.
That doesn't... Why would he pull a stunt like that? Got anything else to offer?
But as you can see, the speech checks are getting tougher. Tried to make it look like an accident, just like a traveler killed and robbed in the wasteland.
He's trying to pull a fast one on the big man. Crazy bastard. You got any more?
That's it. What do you think?
Jesus, kid, I think we got a real problem on our hands. Can't believe Benny's a no-good stinking punk, trying to play house like that. Tell you what, I'll call Benny, keep him away from his suite. You go search the place. Here's the key, it's on the 13th floor. It's a room with the double doors, can't miss it. Maybe you'll find something we can show to Mr. House and get him arrested.
Okay, I'll do it.
Groovy, here's your stuff back. In case you run into company, you dig? I'll tell the boys to give you a pass to pack some heat. Go on then. Elevators to pass the slot machines on your left.
Oh. Alright, so that's one way to go about it. I'm going to go talk to House. And I think what I'll do is I'll do these things, then I'll make a save, and I'll show you what happens if we do like I did at the end of the last video, and just burst right through and don't talk to anybody or get any background on Benny. Just go right into Benny's face and try to get shit to happen. So I'll do this stuff with talking to people before I talk to Benny. Then we'll go back and we'll talk to Benny. I need to check out all these casinos eventually. There's a lot of stuff you can do around here. I believe the Lucky 38 is
Those cons got the hint. We've shown everyone that these are our new territories.
Are you talking about the cons?
Howdy. Interested in a refreshing beverage or a tasty snack?
Do you work for one of the casinos?
Nope. Strictly independent. Well, kind of independent. To vend anything here on the Strip, you gotta register with one of those police robots and sign a franchisee agreement. At the end of each day, you keep half of what you made. The rest you hand over to those bots. And they know if you're cheating.
Mr. House gets half of each day's take?
Yep, he makes the rules. It's steep, but it sure beats living in North Vegas. Here on the Strip, I can afford to eat, and no one tries to kill me.
Goodbye. Don't really have much to learn from you. Ethel, huh? Yeah, there's other stuff I could be doing. But I don't want to get into any side discussions. I just want to get into the... I don't see how I get into this place. This appears to be the casino that I want to enter, though. I think I have to enter it from the other section of Vegas.
Please obey all weapon law.
What are you doing? I do not know why that popped up. The Gomorrah, eh? Yeah, here's our good friend, NWO Head of Security Vincent. Oh, Victor.
Well, howdy, partner. Good to see you again. Boss is waiting for you upstairs, so get a move on.
Thank you, Victor.
I see you brought some friends. Sorry, partner, but they're gonna have to stay outside.
No deal.
Boss is pretty clear on this. I can't let you in unless you buy your lonesome. Well, howdy, partner.
No problem, I had it by myself.
Come back soon now.
Yeah, this is kind of a problem because there are paths you can take in the game as far as whose side you want to be on and how you want things to go, where you might want to kind of be against House, potentially. And if you want to get in as close as you can to the vulnerable parts of House's operation before you turn hostile, you're going to have to do it without backup. Looks like he teleported in here. I sure didn't see him follow us. Companion dismissal terminal, huh?
Where to, partner?
The penthouse, I guess.
Penthouse.
Well, here's a slightly different looking robot.
Well, hello, Sugar. Mr. House is waiting for you in his office.
Who are you?
I'm Jane, one of Mr. House's girls. We keep him entertained. We don't get many guests lately. Perhaps we can entertain you as well.
Well, there's kind of a Hugh Hefner Playboy Mansion thing going on, except that they're gender-neutral robots. What can you tell me about New Vegas? I'd like to meet Mr. Vegas. I wonder if he's going to be someone you can interact with like Three Dog was.
Oh, there's lots of things to tell, I'm sure. There's the three families, the casinos, the other attractions. What would you like to know?
I'd actually like to know about Mr. New Vegas now that I mention it. Like I said, I played some off camera after messing around with Benny. I don't know what possessed me to do it. I guess I really was determined to end the recording session, but then I just came back and I was just really interested in what the story was. But in my messing around off camera, I did not actually find anything about Mr. New Vegas. It's fun about the three families.
They're just new money, Sugar. They might pretend they're sophisticated, but between you and me, they're not far off from tribals. Emeritus especially are just awful brutes. The chairman and the White Glove Society at least pretend to have some culture.
The White Glove Society.
Well, of course, there used to be a lot more of them. But these days, there are three open to the public. The Tops, the Ultra Lukes, and Gomorrah. And the Lucky 38, of course. But we're not open to the public. You're a special case, Sugar.
Yeah, you can't really gamble here either from what I've seen. Tell me about the other attractions.
Well, let's see. The NCR has an embassy here, but why you'd want to go talk to a bunch of boring old politicians, I surely don't know. Oh, and the Vault 21 Hotel and Gift Shop has an adorable collection of old Vault-Tec memorabilia. And I suppose if you like neon signs, you might check out Michelangelo's sign shop.
Michelangelo, her.
Anything you like, sugar?
Are you programmed for like sexual crap? Because that seems to be where this is going, but I did come across a fisting robot, and of course we all know from that one commercial for Next Generation on, back when it was on the Sci-Fi Channel, Data was programmed for many types of pleasuring too. That was pretty creepy. But I should probably get back to this, and tell me about Mr. House.
Why, sugar, he's the maximum utmost. If it weren't for Mr. House, we wouldn't have this fabulous wonderland of New Vegas, would we?
Sounds like you're pretty fond of him.
Well, of course I am, silly. Mr. House is just the smartest, most wonderful man there ever was. Why, did you know he single-handedly reclaimed New Vegas from all those nasty tribes that used to live here? Well, he single-handedly sent in his Securitrons to do it, but that counts in my book.
I didn't realize robots could have such strong feelings about people.
Sugar, I may be a robot on the outside, but on the inside, my neurocomputational matrix is an exact copy of Mr. House's favorite girl.
Wow, creepy. So you're a copy of a dead woman? What exactly do you do for Mr. House?
Mr. House has a lot of needs, sugar. I take care of all of them, and a lady doesn't kiss and tell.
I really don't want to think about that.
Then maybe you shouldn't pry into a lady's particulars. Hmm?
Good point.
Anything you like, sugar?
She makes a good point. What is this place?
This is the Lucky 38 Resort and Casino, or it used to be. Mr. House has kept the place locked up tight for ages now. Nobody comes in or out.
He's got your refugees packed in nice and tight. What kind of robot are you?
Why, I'm a Robco PDQ 88B Mark I Securitron, you silly goose. We're the finest in personal civil robotic security on the market.
What's with the snow globe collection? I didn't even notice there was one.
Not many people know this, but Mr. House is one of the world's biggest collectors of antique snow globes. If you happen to find any out in the wasteland, you can bring them to me, and I'll add them to his collection. You'll get a reward, of course. In fact, one of Mr. House's favorites went missing when we moved the collection. If you have a look around the Lucky 38, you might even find it.
Alright, so the snow globes, so Mr. House is some kind of eccentric rich millionaire. The snow globes, I'm assuming, are going to be a reference to Citizen Kane. But it could be they just needed something to give you a reward for. So let's see what the reward is.
You do?
8,000
Well,
caps.
that's just wonderful. I'll take them and put them with the rest of the collection.
I don't know if I had 4 of them or 8 of them, but I just got 8,000 caps, so goodbye. And then she says nothing. Good Springs, Hoover Dam, Mount Charleston, Nellis Air Force Base. Hunger levels increased. So 2,000 each, because I had 4 of them. I'm now over encumbered and can't run. Oh, because I'm hungry. Still a little bit thirsty. Oh, I'm not that thirsty. I'm sleepy. So where are the snow globes? I'm just curious. Entrance for employees only. Yeah. I want to save before I try to go in there. Still seem to be okay, though. None of this stuff is marked as red, so if you're to be allowed to steal it. Pre-war books. Mr. House has the nicest digs of anybody around. Pretty nice place. Okay, Las Vegas, Nevada. Citizens worried about electricity shortage. I think that's a reference to either real life or Chinatown. I sometimes get them confused. I don't really see this snow globe collection. I see that. I will certainly check that out in the fullness of time. But now I'm just trying to figure out what the snow globes are.
Be advised, visitors will be held responsible for the behavior of any robots accompanying them.
What floor, partner?
Going good here. Yeah, I say what about the snow globe collection, but I didn't see one. Maybe you're supposed to see it on the way in. Got some empty liquor bottles. It's a nice little kitchen over here. Somewhere around here, of course, we've basically been just flat out told there is a snow globe that we will get money for if we find it, but the robots seem to be a bit sloppy with those things. The robots took my sandwich. Yeah, not a bad little place Mr. House has for himself. And then there's a terminal. Let's see, ceremonial, 2 of 10, occupation, 6 of 10, population, that would be the ATION, that's 5. Seven of 10. Well, we just saved a minute ago, didn't we? Production. P. It's 1. TION, no. Completion? Reputation 1, 2. Yeah, that's it. Everybody's still happy? Nobody cares that I hacked into that thing? Okay. I'm pretty sure if you go poking around in here where you're not supposed to go, it will eventually turn ugly. Unauthorized user, proceed. Okay. So you're given a warning. Let's not mess with this yet, because we haven't even tried talking to Mr. House to find out what's going on. So let's actually find out what his story on the surface is before we start trying to find out if there's something else going on. I don't see snow globes anywhere. There's Securitrons on either side, and this is Mr. House. Either he's somewhere else talking to us via, like, live via satellite, WWE Raw style, and he's really stoic, or Mr. House is a computer.
This meeting has been a long time coming, hasn't it?
It's Odo!
You've come a long ways, literally, and I suspect figuratively as well.
It's Constable Odo!
I have to ask, now that you've reached your destination, what do you make of what you see?
I've never seen anything like this place. A city devoted to vice and sin. What's not to love? I prefer the wasteland, to be honest. What the hell are you? Can we get down to business? I've never seen anything like this place.
Of course you haven't. Vegas always was one of a kind.
Just like the
What
founders.
you see down on the Strip is just a fraction of the city's former glory, and yet, more than an echo, I preserved its spirit. Or perhaps you were referring to the Lucky 38? The years haven't been kind to her, but still she manages to impress.
By the VIP business treatment, I'm just a courier.
Oh, don't be coy. You've been playing a high-stakes game ever since Victor dug you out of the ground. Don't be afraid to admit it.
Constable. Let's get down to business then.
The business is this. One of my employees has stolen an item of extraordinary value from me, and I want it recovered. Simple enough.
I'd like to ask some questions.
What did you wish to know?
How do I get to Benny?
It won't be easy. Benny is always surrounded by at least 4 bodyguards, except when he's in his private suite on the 13th floor of the Tops.
The chairman or your employees? Don't they take orders? Say I want a diplomatic approach.
If you were to approach Benny in public, you might be able to leverage his fear of exposure to make him agree to meet with you in private.
The chairman or your employees? Don't they take orders?
It's more complicated than that. The chairmen share what you might call a tribal affinity. Look for a man named Swank, Benny's second-in-command. He's always been a reliable, if unimaginative, employee. Do your best to convince him that you're working under my auspices. If you have evidence of Benny's crimes, show it to him.
Okay, so this is something I didn't know, and I would have known had I spoken to House. But I kind of felt like I'd taken long enough to get into New Vegas, I really should have just burst right in. Why can't you be the one to tell Swank?
By contract, Securitrons are to enter the casinos only when invited by the 3 families, or if other extraordinary circumstances arise. The moment I send one into the Tops, Benny will know I'm on to him.
Any ideas now I could catch him off guard?
Sneaking into Benny's suite on the 13th floor would be very difficult, but not impossible. There might be guards. Certainly there'd be a sturdy lock on his front door.
Let's talk about something else.
What else did you want to know?
What the fuck are you? Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, that's what I want to know. Who exactly are you, Mr. House?
I am Robert Edwin House, President, CEO, and sole proprietor of the New Vegas Strip. I oversaw the city's renovations starting from 2274 onward. The 3 families are my employees. Before the Great War of 2077, I was the founder, president, and CEO of Robco Industries, a vast computer and robotics corporation.
Ah. Yeah, now, I'm not an expert, but I thought Fallout was... I know the war happened in 2077. For some reason, culture is stuck in the 1940s. But I thought that the actual Fallout games take place hundreds of years after that. Or maybe not that many years, but certainly people who were alive at that point should not be alive anymore. You appear to be a computer, not a man.
Don't let the video screens and computer terminals fool you. I'm flesh and blood, not silicon.
Man, I want to see what this medicine check is, but my medicine skill is just too crappy. Goodbye.
Well enough. Be on your way.
So it's the most important plot connection or conversation in the game, and yet you're allowed to just kind of back out of it for whatever reason. Do I have something that will boost my medicine so that I can get that? I'm just curious. See, I got really high science, I just don't have high medicine. I can afford 1. I had like 4.
Can I look forward to a more substantial conversation this time?
What a douchebag. Maybe you have some other questions to ask.
What else did you want to know?
The lifespan you're claiming is impossible, except for ghouls and super mutants.
I see you've made a study of the topic.
You didn't just say it like an idiot.
My knowledge of the science of longevity would fill several textbooks. Perhaps after a decade or two of economic reconstruction, I can commercialize these technologies and offer them to others, such as yourself.
So, I traded that thing in for 35 experience points. Probably not a good trade, but I really don't feel like loading to get that back. I know at least one time I failed a medicine check when dealing with the boomers. Actually, you know what? I could go back and do that if I really wanted to, but I've already got very high affinity with the boomers. Because they had 3 people who were injured, and I managed to tend to 2 of them. How have you stayed alive all this time?
Let's just say it was very costly. But I was willing to make the sacrifices longevity entailed, financial and otherwise.
Well, you know, he's apparently a flesh and blood man, or so he says, who's represented here by a computer. So I'm guessing he's like... Connection lost? So I'm guessing he's like, probably in like a Zero from Metal Gear Solid 4 style deal, where he's like hooked up to machines and his body is almost dead, but his brain is still functioning. Yeah, and when it comes to talking to computers who behave like men, or men who are hooked up to computers, he's not Malcolm McDowell, but Rene Auberjonois is a pretty cool guy to have in this role. How did you establish New Vegas?
We can discuss this in greater detail at another time. Suffice it to say that when my Securitrons detected NCR scouts at Hoover Dam, I took action. I recruited a tribal force to supplement my Securitrons and renovated the Strip just in time to welcome the NCR as it marched into the region. Instead of war, a treaty was negotiated, and the money started to pour in.
So it was like the dictator of a robot army. Huh. Let's talk about something else.
What else did you want to know?
Tell me about Benny.
Benny has led the chairman ever since I recruited his tribe 7 years ago. Until his recent misbehavior, I'd planned to make him my protege. Maybe if I'd begun grooming him sooner, none of this would have happened.
Yeah, I'm also under the impression that Benny is voiced by somebody quasi-famous, but I can't think of it now. Whoever they are, they're probably more famous than Rene Auberjonois. I like Odo. What use would you have for a protege? And is Quark around here anywhere?
To achieve my aims, I require a capable human agent to perform certain tasks. I knew Benny was ambitious, even ruthless, but I believed he would do the job so long as he was incentivized appropriately. Obviously, I miscalculated his drive for supremacy, but in any case, you've come along. A more than suitable replacement.
Why did Benny betray you? Is he
I
Judas?
have to think that he found out about the platinum chip and mistakenly convinced himself that he could use it to his own ends. One of the problems of a tribal workforce, I'm afraid. No intuitive understanding of how complex technologies can be.
Why didn't you intervene sooner when Benny ambushed me? Don't you care about me, House?
Why didn't Victor intervene sooner, you mean? Goodsprings is a bit too far away for me to reliably control a Securitron agent by remote. I can send and receive packets of data at best. Victor's combat algorithms determine the proper course of action. Benny and his thugs were more than a match for a lone Securitron. When he alerted me, I instructed him to approach the site after Benny and the others had departed. What else did you want to know?
What is the platinum chip? I guess I can get him to tell me about the factions. This is going to be an info dump video.
I'm curious about this topic, but we'll hold off until the platinum chip has been recovered. What else did you want to know?
Douchebag. What is a platinum chip?
It's a very special item. There's nothing else like it in the entire world. It was lost a long time and difficult to find. That's all you need to know about it for this stage of our enterprise. Fulfill your contract, deliver the chip, and good things will come your way.
The more I know about the chip, the easier I can find it.
You might keep an eye out for any computers that Benny's been using. Maybe even a computer lab of some sort.
I have a right to know.
That's simply not true.
That
I am the only person to
is
hold
not.
any
That is
rights
a
to
factually
the chip.
incorrect
I
statement.
designed it, and I paid for it dearly. To develop that chip, I spent a sum of US dollars. Not the bottle caps that pass as currency these days, but a sum beyond counting. For decades, I paid salvagers to comb the ruins for it. And when it was finally discovered, tens of thousands of caps spent to have it brought here. We know how that turned out. Complete your contract, and it will be the last time I pay for the chip. Save your questions for then.
If the chip's so valuable, why use a single courier to transport it?
You realize you were just one of many couriers. The rest of them, dummies, so to speak. Add to that many thousands of caps worth of mercenary protection to screen your avenue of approach. Had I used an armed caravan to transport the chip, I might as well have been announcing to the world, this is important, attack this. I didn't want to attract the attention of groups like the Great Khans or the Brotherhood of Steel. Alas, the real threat was closer to home.
I can appreciate his situation at any rate. Yeah, from the looks of things, folks, I'm not going to get back to Benny before this video is over. I apologize, but this is pretty heavy plot stuff that's kind of filling in a lot of holes. Why don't you send your robots into the tops to arrest Benny?
Frontal assaults on casinos, not good for business.
Well, what does he care about the
In any
caps?
case, Benny would see it coming, and all he'd have to do is hold the chip up and point a pistol at it.
That's true.
Our foremost advantage is that Benny doesn't know that I know he has the chip. Let's not squander it.
This is pretty smart. Let's talk about something else.
What else did you want to know?
Well, he seems smart. I'm sure there's some huge logical hole in this. I just don't happen to be seeing at the moment. Alright, so what terms are you offering?
My only concern is the recovery of the platinum chip. What happens to Benny, I leave to your discretion. When you bring the chip to me, I will pay you 4 times the delivery bonus stipulated in your contract. How's that?
It's a good start, but well below market price.
Very well. 5 times the bonus. Not 1 cap more.
The chip is worth far more than that.
My offer far exceeds the original terms of your contract, which, I will remind you, already obligates you to deliver the chip.
Yep. Alright, I'll do it.
Well enough. Return to me when you have the platinum chip in your possession. Any final matters for us to discuss?
I'll return when I have the chip.
Until then.
So, I don't think I've just signed myself over to be on his side, but, we'll see. Now I could also, now that it is saved, open the antechamber.
Engaging target.
But now everyone's hostile to me. Target renegade. Sadly, I don't know where to go at this point. Another locked terminal. 4 attempts left. Lieutenant? Try one of the ING words. It's not an ING word. An ION word? Oh, medication, 7 of 10. Let's try, hesitation? Alright, let's check all the choices. I got department, geothermal, benevolent, hesitation already did, lieutenant, decimating, descending, attend blah blah ceremonies, medication. I guess it has to be reputation. Damn, they are not messing around. Okay, so I got past all of the terminals, but they have rocket launchers. I imagine that we were about to open up a door that was going to show us, like, little old man hooked up to a bunch of medical-y stuff. But, okay. So if I ever decide I want to kill Mr. House, I am probably going to have to come in here and kill the Securitrons. And to do that, honestly, I probably need to take the perk that gives you bonus damage against robots, because I don't know that that's going to happen otherwise. Possibly try to blast my way in from all the way outside with
Congratulations, partner. The boss has instructed me to come you to the High Roller Suite. You can bring your friends too. Be like a little clubhouse for the gang you put together. Just bear in mind, you're the only one gets to see the boss. Any friends you got, they can wait in the suite. Enjoy the digs, partner. They're plenty fancy.
I guess we'll take a look at the presidential suite, but yeah, honestly. Oh, I guess we get to just, like, actually live here. Guest wardrobe 1 and 2, huh? Wonder if this would be a way to get Veronica a dress. It's kind of dark in here. Maybe this is where the snow globe ended up. I'll tell you what, I did need to get some sleep. Wait a minute, is that it right there? No, it's a gourd, buffalo gourd seed. Buffalo gourd seed, won't you come out tonight? 10:30 in the morning. Grab a couple hours. Probably should have. So basically, we're like up in the middle of the. Well, we're up in the fairly late morning talking to the house, but we had been up overnight before that, so we're no longer sleep deprived. That's good. Yeah, these places are really nice. Not a lot of point to them. I was told that once we got to Vegas, we'd be able to get a, Hey, there you go. It's a replacement for today's physician we used. Told that once we got to Vegas, we'd be able to get a nice dress for, Veronica, although, you know, I think we'd already gotten, like, pre-war casual wear, so there must be something even more involved that will eventually be revealed. I didn't mean to knock those off another today's physician. He's got quite a few of those around. Seems to be interested in having people who know about medical technology in his employ. He's like 100 million years old, and I'm thinking we will learn hooked up to life support. We'll learn that if we can ever get in there, but I don't imagine any course of action whereby, unless there's a plot twist where he needs medical attention coming, I don't imagine any course of action in which we will actually be invited to go into that chamber. House does not seem like the kind of person who would trust us to that extent.
Where to, partner?
So let's head back over to the casino. Sorry, we're in a casino. Let's head over to the Tops. And we'll go in there and we'll deal with... Well, I'm sure this video's gone long now. Do it, or you will be destroyed. Somewhere in here is probably the snow globe that we're supposed to find. Enjoy what the Vegas Strip has to offer, or die. I've never actually been to Vegas. I'd need to, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have any point going by myself. I'd have to organize some kind of trip with friends, but... I don't really drink anymore. I used to drink. I'm not a teetotaler. I just don't... you know, I don't initiate drinking. If other people are drinking, I will join them, but... I think that's kind of a big part of the whole Vegas thing, isn't it? I mean, assuming you're not doing something harder and illegal. Anyway, again, the whole atmosphere of this place is just killed by the fact that I'm afraid to put the Vegas radio station on. I might just do a video or wander around in Vegas and just use that radio station the whole time and upload it and see if it gets flagged, and just use it for like bonus stuff that's not really plot critical, so that's not the end of the world if it gets flagged. But oh, I really miss the I can't miss it that much because I didn't get to hear it too much.
Hey, you there. I have a message for you.
Uh-huh.
It's from Ambassador Crocker. Very important. Here you go.
Huh. I remember this happening when I was playing off screen, but it was after I had done stuff with Benny. I wish to speak with you immediately in regards to important matters. I trust you've learned enough in your travels to know that the New California Republic is an honorable nation engaged in a beneficent mission in the Mojave in general and New Vegas in particular. It is in addition a wealthy nation that well rewards persons who dedicate themselves to its national interests, whether for reasons patriotic or material. They're basically trying to buy me the same way that Mr. House has. Allow me to reassure you that if you have committed any crimes or misdemeanors against the Republic, it is in my power to pardon misconduct of this sort. I stand ready. I stand ready. Stand ready to receive you at the earliest convenience in my offices at the New California Republic Embassy at the south side of the Vegas Strip. God bless New California Republic. I'm not exactly someone who's committed minor offenses against the New California Republic. As a matter of fact, I basically fucking saved your ass several different points, well, in little ways. Hey everybody, I'm Ayesha. I mean, wait. Yeah, apparently they're just like really blown away by the fact that I left the Lucky 38 because nobody's ever allowed in. So that's pretty cool. And that's why I got that strip fame.
Looking to lose a few caps, huh? Just the place.
What? Oh, are my friends gonna follow me, or are they just hanging around out there?
Aw, just with...
I guess they were just gonna hang out. It's a good thing I went to talk to them. Veronica and Eddie were useful to me in my off-screen version of visiting Benny, when I just kind of went in there with no plan. Anyway, folks, so I'll take us over here and Vault 21 gift shop there, whatever it was. There's the LVB station, Lucky 38. What do you mean, what is it? Where's the Tops? There's the Tops. It's not quite as disorienting as real life Vegas, it probably is, but disorienting enough for me. Alright folks, so I'll call it a rather over-length video here, but when I come back, we're going to go into the Tops Casino, and we're actually going to, yeah, kind of backed up a little bit, didn't I? But it was all Vegas Strip stuff, when we come back, I'll actually resolve that little bit of a cliffhanger, except that I'll have to reintroduce the cliffhanger, with Benny. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do, as I think I said I was going to do, is I was going to save it so that we can actually, in the next video, we'll come back and we will just pick up the thing with Benny from inside the suite. Pretend we didn't talk to House at all. And we'll just play through the Benny scenario twice, and we'll see what happens when you talk to House and have a plan, and what happens when you do like I did, and you just go in there after having your weapons taken away, and you just wait around in his suite. See you for that, folks. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.